Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Creative Hands by Shay. So in today's tutorial, I will be showing you how to make a granny square tote bag. So guys, if you're new to my channel, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I hope that you will love what you see and you will stay here with me. To my regular viewers and subscribers, thank you so much for always being here, guys. So these are the squares that I will be using today. I did do a tutorial on how to make them, so I will link that video next to this one here. And you don't need a lot of materials to make this. I use well, once you watch that video, you will see all the materials that I used to make this one. And to finish up the bag, I will still use my Bernat Softee cotton here. And I have my 4.0 millimeter crochet hook. This is the hook that I used to make the square. You will need a pair of scissors and also your darning needle. If you want to measure your bag, you can also use a measuring tape. So guys, let's jump in the video. So guys, I went ahead and I started to attach some of my squares, and you will be attaching your squares. I'm just gonna like turn it this way so you will kind of get the drift of what it is supposed to be like. So this is just 4 squares attached to each other. So even if you turn it this way, it's just gonna shape more like a rectangular kind of thing looking like. But once you add the other 2 pieces on this side, you will start to see it looks like a more diamond shape. So I am just gonna place them so you can see. So I will be showing you on the screen how to put them together. So this is actually the top part here of the bag. So this is how you are going to be attaching your yarn. So what I'm going to do is I am going to remove my hook from this square, and I'm going to leave out a long tail so I can have it to sew another square on. So I'm going to leave out about this amount. I'm just going to leave that aside, and I'm going to show you how to attach these 2 here. So you're just going to pretend as if this is the first set that you are just joining. So I started with 2 squares. So I am just going to pinch my square together like this. And then I'm going to get my yarn, insert my hook. You can either go into that chain here, or you can go underneath. So once you have done so, you can pull up and then chain 1, give it a tie so that your yarn is secured. So now that you have done so, you are going to go into the front loop on this side and the back loop on this side. So you're going to go here, insert your hook there. You're going to insert your hook. Let me just make sure that I am not missing any of my stitches. So we have 1 there. Okay, so we're going to start our first stitch actually here, because we have this one here. So we're starting it here. So 1 and 2, and then you're going to pull through both loops at the same time and make a slip stitch. You're going to go into the front loop here and the back loop on this side. You can always zoom up your video if you're not able to see this properly, but I will try my best to make sure that you can see it. And once you start to do this, you will notice that there is a stitch start to form on top of the squares. So you're just basically going to do this right along until you get to the next end here, and then we are going to join this one. So I'm going to continue doing that, and I'll meet you there. So guys, now I have reached back to where we have our chain 2 here. So I am going to now go underneath this stitch, just as we did when we were starting, and I am going to make a slip stitch. So now we are going to go ahead and join our next 2 squares. So we're going to pull them up together like this, and then we are going to insert our hook and pull it through like that. And then you're basically going to do the same thing by going into the front loop here and the back loop on this side. So just continue doing this until you get to the end, and I'll meet you back there. So there it is. You can see how nicely joined that is. So I'm just going to continue doing that right down to here, and I'll meet you back. So guys, now I have reached back to the end part here, and I'm going to go underneath these 2 here, just as we did before, and we're going to make a slip stitch to finish off this sewing, and this is what it looks like. So I'm just going to place it like this, and you can see. So this will be the opening of the bag here, and we are going to stitch these sides up. But before we do that, we are going to be stitching the other parts up here, and once I'm through stitching all my parts up, I will meet back with you. So we're going to stitch here and stitch here. So let me just show you how to do that. So I'm just going to leave out some here. I hope I leave a long enough tail there. And we are going to join here. So let me just turn it from this end, and we're going to join, come to this part here. So insert your hook, give it a tie, and repeat the same steps. So I'm just going to continue doing this until I get down to this part here, and I'll show you how to lock that part off. So guys, now I have come to my last stitch here, and what I am going to do is I am just going to sew this inner part up and go back over to this side here. So how you're going to do that is you are going to insert your hook underneath this here, and you're going to use your hook to pull up a loop and make a slip stitch. Now that you have done your slip stitch there, you are going to go over on the other side, going to that front loop there and the back loop on the other side. Make sure that you are not missing your stitch. And basically continue. Let me just redo this because my stitch is a little bit too long. Okay. Okay, so now I have gotten that part up, and now I'm just going to continue to stitch right over. So I will be showing you the sequence of how to put the square together on the screen. So I'll be showing you a picture of the demonstration. So continue doing that, and I will reach back to here, and I'll just show you what it looks like again. So guys, I've reached to the end, and this is my end here that I just finished. So let me just pull that up so you can see. So this is the bottom part of where we will be continue attaching on for the bottom part of the bag. So I am just gonna pull up on this here, and you are going to go ahead and attach your yarn. You can either start from this end or you can start from this end, but I would prefer starting from this end. So you can sew, and once you get here you can go up to this part here and then attach this part together and then fasten off. So that's where I am going to start. So I am just going to leave a tail end here so I can have it to work with later on for the bottom part. So as I stated, guys, I will be putting the picture on the screen so you can follow along, and I'll put the numbers on the picture so you can put your square together. So I'm going to continue doing this. Once I am through attaching all 13 squares, then I will meet back up with you. So just as I did before, we're just repeating the same steps over and over until we're through getting all our squares together. So continue doing that and I'll see you there. So guys, now I have attached all my squares together, and this is what the front part of the bag looks like here. And I'm just gonna pull that up so you can see where I finish attaching on the bottom part here. So there it is. So we're left the back with 2 squares just like this. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna pinch this middle part here, or this diamond looking part here. We're just gonna pinch that and flip that bag up like that. And that's the bottom part there. So I'm just going to flip it around so you can see better. So that's the inner part, and this is the part that will be on the right side. So all you have to do now is to fold your bag over like this, and the bag is completed. So I am just going to go ahead and attach my yarn and put these sides together, but I'm going to start from this part here and work my way up and attach. So I'm just going to show you how to do that part. So I'm going to attach my yarn here. Make sure that you leave a little tail end so you'll be able to weave in afterwards. And give it a slip stitch, give it a tie, and then just as we did before, we are going to go ahead and work into those stitches. So I'm going to continue doing this until I get to that corner part there, and I'll meet back with you. So guys, now I have sewed up this side here, and this is going to be the part that is flapped inside here for the side part of the bag. So now you are going to insert your hook into this space here and into the other side as well, pull through and make a slip stitch. And again, start to do the same thing over again by inserting your hook into each and every stitch, and just as we were doing before, making it into the front here and the other one as well. So once you get to this corner, I will meet you back here and I'll show you how to attach this part here. So guys, now I have reached to my 3 corners here. So 1 square, 1 and 1, 2, 3. So what we're going to do is we are going to insert our hook into this square here. So into this little space. I hope you're seeing that well. So you're going to go into this square here, and then you're going to go into the other one, and you're going to pull through and make a slip stitch, and that is going to join these square together. So now that you have done so, I'm just going to kind of get these tail ends out of my way. You are going to insert your hook into this corner space here and into the other one and pull through and make a slip stitch. So all the corners are now connected, and now you're just going to continue to make the same stitches as we were doing before. And when you're doing the other side, this is the same exact way you are going to do that. So the same way how you do this part is the same thing that you're going to do on the other side. So you're just repeating the same steps. So continue to do that until you get to this part here, and then I'll meet you back there. So guys, now I have come to the corner here, and I'm just gonna attach these 2 corners so I can finish off this row here. And there it is. So that part is now attached. Now I'm just gonna pull up on that so you can see. So it is now attached there. And you're basically going to do the same thing on this side. So just as we did before, we're going to do the same thing. So starting from this side here, we're going to attach our yarn. You're going to sew come up, and once you come up here, you're going to attach, and then you are going to sew come down to this part and then up back to this part here. So just do the same thing. I am going to go ahead, weave in my tail ends, and then I will meet back up with you to show you how to add the straps onto the bag so we can work on that part. So continue doing that. You can fasten off here and attach your yarn on this side. I'm just going to give it a chain 1 and fasten off. And I'm going to attach my yarn here. Remember, I always give it a little tie to make sure that the yarn is secured. And then I will start to do my stitches. Make sure that you don't miss any of your stitches, because if you do, when you get to the top, then you will have less stitch on one side. So I'm going to continue doing this, and I will meet you at the end. So I'll see you there, guys. So guys, and now I have come to the end of sewing up all the bag, and this is what it looks like so far. So it's looking super cute. You can see all that diamond looking shape in the bag there, and it looks more realistic when you do it this way. This is the other side. It is looking exactly the same. So now we are going to now working on the brim of the I was gonna say hat. The brim of the bag. So what you're gonna do now is you're gonna insert your hook into this chain 2 space here and into the chain 2 space on the other side, and you're gonna pull through and make a single crochet. And now what you're gonna do is you are going to make single crochet into each and every stitch around. So just continue making your single crochets. Once you reach to this part, I'll show you what to do. So I'm just going to continue doing that and I'll meet you there. So guys, I wanted to show you this part. So when you get to the chain 2 space here, you are going to put the 3 single crochet there. So that's my first one, second one, and a third one. And then you're going to make single crochet in the remaining stitches. So this is how it's supposed to look. So you're going to continue making single crochets right down until you get to here, and I'll meet you back there. So now we have come to this middle part of the bag here, and what you're going to do is you're going to insert your hook into this chain 2 space here. You're going to insert your hook into the other chain 2 space and also into the third chain 2 space. You're going to pull through the first one here, or the last one that we just pulled through, the second one, and then the first one. And then you are going to yarn over and pull through both loops. Now that you have done so, then you are make sure that you're not missing this stitch that is right here. Then you're going to continue making single crochets right in between, and when you get to the other part like this on this side, you will do the same thing. You just repeat the same steps there as well. So I'm going to continue doing that. Remember, when you get here, you will put 3 single crochet into this space. So I'll continue until I get back down to this part, and I'll meet you there. So guys, now we have come down to the side part of the bag here where we started on this part here. So what we're going to do is we are going to insert your hook into this chain 2 space and into the next chain 2 space, and we're going to make a single crochet. And then continue making single crochets right across. So I just wanted to show you that before I go back around. So I'm just going to continue doing that, and I'll meet back up with you at the end. So guys, and now I have made my chain, and this is what it looks like. So if you're using a bigger size yarn than this one, I would suggest chaining 80. But because I'm using a size 3 yarn, I chained 100. So if you're using the same yarn, you can go ahead and make it be the same amount. So now we're going to attach our strap here onto this part. So you're going to make sure that it is not twisted. So make sure that you go right around like this and lay it nicely down. And now you are going to go into this middle one here and attach your yarn. So you're making a single crochet, and that attaches both part of the strap here. You're seeing that well. So now you are going to continue making single crochets right down here, and then come back up to here, and then we're going to make the next strap for this part. So I'm just going to continue doing that until I get back to this part here, and I'll meet you there. So guys, and now I have reached back up to where we had our, or where we have our chain 3, I should say, and I did put my single crochet into the middle one here. So now I am going to go ahead and chain up 100, and just as we did before with the other side, we're going to do the same thing here. So chain up your 100, and then you're going to attach your yarn onto this middle one here on this side, and then continue doing single crochets down, and you're going to go back around. So I'm just going to continue doing that, and I'll see you there. So now we are back to where we started off here, and I am going to work on the strap. So now you are going to make a single crochet into this first one here, and then single crochet into each and every stitch right over to the other side, and you will just repeat that, doing your single crochets until you get back to this part here, and you will just basically continue doing the same thing. So I'm just going to continue doing my single crochet into each stitches, and then I'll meet back up with you once I am at the end. So this is how it's gonna look. So continue doing that, and I'll see you there. So guys, now I am back to where we first attach our yarn here, or where we started. So this is the strap here. This is what it looks like. And we're basically gonna go around until we get the thickness of the strap, of how thick you want the strap to be. So you're just basically gonna continue making single crochets right around. Once you get to the strap, you will make single crochets on the strap and go around. So I will let you know how many rows that I will be doing once I get to my thickness, and then I will be back with you and I'll tell you how much rows I did. So I'm just going to continue doing that until I get to the end, and I will see you there. So continue making your single crochets. Our bag is almost completed, guys. So there it is. So guys, and now I have come to the end here, and this is what our side part of the bag looks like, and this is the strap. So that's the thickness of the strap here. So I did do a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 rows to finish off the strap. So I like this thickness, so this is where I will stop. So I will show you how I actually finish off this strap here to make it look nice and clean. So I am going to show you how to finish this part here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change my hook to size 3, and I'm going to pull up on this tail end here. I did went ahead and cut it off, and I'm going to get my needle and I'm going to go into these 2 loops here. And then I am going to go into this loop and down, and I'm going to pull through, and that is going to finish off the bag nice and clean. So there it is. So now we are just going to weave in just as we did before. So weave in the remainder tail end. Okay, so now I have come to the end of weaving my tail end in, and this is where it is there. I'm going to cut that excess off, and I am going to get my yarn and rejoin on this side. So what I'm going to do is to give this part a little thicker ridge or edge, just as I did on this side here. I went ahead and I gave it one more roll. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side. So you're going to do this on both sides of the bag, and I want to stiffen the strap up a little bit, so I am going to do one row to make that strap just like this one here. So I'm going to get my size 3 yarn, hook I should say, sorry about that, and I am going to join it right into here. Chain 1, give it a tie, and you can weave this tail end as you go along. So while you're doing your single crochets, you can weave this tail end in. And I'm just going to do single crochets right along until you get to the next point here, and then we're going to do our single crochets here. So I'm going to meet you back here. So guys, now I have come back to the inner part of the strap here, so where we're going to do the single crochets on the outer part here to make sure that that part is nice and firm. So we're going to go into this single crochet here, make a single crochet, and we're going to go into this little space here. That's where we had joined for the strap. We're going to go there and make one single crochet. We're going to go into the single crochet space here and continue making single crochets. So you're going to make single crochets right along the edges using your smaller hook, of course. So I'm just going to continue doing that right across until I get back to this end part here, and I'll just close that part off. So I'll meet you back there. So guys, now I have come to the end of our single crochets here. So I have just done my last single crochet, and I'm just going to pull up on my yarn here, and I'm going to cut off the excess. And now we are going to pull that through, and we're going to get our darning needle and weave this part in. So just as we did before, we're just going to go into this stitch here. This is our first single crochet. We're going to pull through that. We're going to go on this side and go into this front loop and under and pull through, and that gives that a nice clean stitch right there. And then you're going to go ahead and weave your tail end in, and then basically your bag is now completed. So I'm just going to go ahead and weave my tail end in, and I'll be back up with you. So guys, this is the end look of our bag here, and it is looking super cute. I love the way how it turned out. So thank you so much for watching this tutorial, guys. This bag can be worn on either side, as both side is the same exact thing. So thank you so much again for watching, guys. Until next time, bye.